Hello everyone, welcome to my video. Today I'll be reviewing Derwent Drawing colored pencils. These pencils captured my attention about 2-3 years ago when I saw someone reviewing them on YouTube, and since then I've been thinking about them. So finally I decided to get some just to try them out and see if they are really as good as people say they are. I bought these pencils myself from official Derwent site. I decided to not buy a complete set. I think they come in 5, 12 and 24 if I remember correctly, but I decided to buy individual pieces. This way I could choose the colors that I liked the most. Because I got these pencils from official Derwent site, I got them packaged in those nice silver tins. And this was such a surprise to me because I thought they would just come packaged in some foil. Oh, and it was such joy to open these tins. To be completely honest, I decided to buy these color pencils and try them out just because recently Derwent decided to expand the color selection. Original Derwent drawing sets came in muted colors. There was just a set of 5, 12 and 24, but these colors were very muted. So I wasn't quite sure if I can find a use for them. But now, because color selection got extended to 72 colors, it encouraged me even more to try them out. Here I'm comparing thickness of the core of Derwent Drawing, which is on the right side. In the middle you can see I've got Polychromos colored pencil, and on the left side I've got Artex. And I can say that Derwent is definitely much thicker than the others. Derwent Drawing has impressive 5mm thick lead. So I'm sure it's gonna be excellent for covering bigger areas quicker. I decided to organize the colored pencils in the order I want them to be. So I would normally start with white, going through yellows, then pale beige skin tone colors, some pinks, reds, then I jumped to browns, greens, some teal colors and blue tones. And in that final small tray, I've placed grape, which is dark violet color, some grays and black. And here is the finished result. Probably for many of you this color order is not gonna make any sense, but I just like to keep my pencils in the same color family. This is what I've been waiting for so long. Let's see how these pencils actually perform on the paper. My first impressions are they are pretty smooth. You don't need a lot of pressure at all to lay down the color on the paper. You can see in here how gently I'm actually holding the pencil, and it lays down a lot of color. So far, I really enjoy the texture of these pencils. These pencils also have pretty good weight to them. They actually do feel expensive, and they are made really well. I feel like I'm holding a piece of luxury item in my hand. I really love those colors and shades so far, because this is extremely unique color palette. I haven't seen some of these shades in any other color pencil set. This must be my favorite color from all the range of pencils I bought. It's called Roja. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. And later on, when I was sharpening, this particular pencil broke and the actual wood split on the side a bit. So of course, because this is my brand new set, I almost got a heart attack. However, I didn't experience the same problem with any of the other colors I got, so this was the only one exception. And to be honest, I think it was my fault because I used really bad sharpener for this pencil. So the sharpener went straight into the bin after this. I really like this Venetian red as well. It almost looks like it is just brown without any red in it, but later on when I add another brown shade next to it, you can definitely see the difference. Now you can see how much cooler this sepia brown actually is next to that Venetian red. Although I must admit that both colors are just beautiful. And here is chocolate, which is so dark that it almost looks black on the camera, but also in real life it almost looks black. You can only see there is a small difference when you put this one and black right next to each other. These greyish greens are so amazing. I use them a lot as the shadow shapes in the drawing I've done later on. So stay tuned for the second part of this video. There is a couple of these extremely dark shades, almost black, in the set of pencils I chose. And I thought that's gonna be such a great addition to the color range I've chosen. That's because I wanted to add a little bit of variety into the darks of my drawings. When I see myself swatching this ash blue color, I actually think it would make a really good shade color for white fur. This teal blue doesn't look like teal at all to me. It reminds me more of a sky blue. This polar ice color is gorgeous. I can see myself using it a lot in my artwork. Here is another extremely dark and rich color. It's called Midnight, and it's also one of my most favorite ones. I'm not actually sure which one is my most favorite because all of them are so beautiful, but Midnight must be among my top 3. And this grape in here, it is a little bit lighter but also so beautiful and versatile. And of course, reliable grays, and for me grays are a must-have in any color pencil set. And of course, one of my all-time favorites, which is black. A lot of people say that they don't use black in their artwork. I don't mind it at all. I use it very often and I actually really enjoy the depth that it gives. And here is the finished swatch chart. I decided I want to compare Derwent Drawing pencils to some other pencil brands I've got. So I chose this dark burgundy color, and this first one was Derwent Drawing. This other one that I'm using now is Faber-Castell Polychromos, and it is in shade Caput Mortuum Violet. comparing these two pencils, they both go on the page really smoothly. You can feel a little bit of a difference in how they feel on the paper. Derwent Drawing feels like it kind of sticks to the paper a little bit more, while Faber-Castell Polychromos, it just glides on the paper. Although Faber-Castell is, I think, a little bit harder. It's hard to say really, because there is not such a huge difference between them in hardness, but Polychromos, I feel it has got a little bit more of this chalky dry feel. Both of them lay the pigment on the page amazingly well, and with just a tiny bit of pressure. I have used Polychromos for about a year now, and they are probably among my favorite pencils of all time. Most popular opinion about Polychromos is that they are hard pencil, but I don't completely agree with that. They are not that hard. They lay a lot of pigment at once, even with slightest pressure. And they are really good for using in layers. Maybe not so much for blending though. So if you prefer blending with your color pencil, I don't think you'll be happy with Polychromos. As the third pencil to use for this comparison, I used Artex colored pencil. And although these are the cheapest among all the three I'm comparing today, they are still pretty good for the price. However, I've got the feeling that from all three, compared today, they perform the worst, which doesn't mean at all that this is the worst pencil, not at all. Artex is still pretty good brand to use. I just mean that Derwent Drawing and Polychromos perform better. With Polychromos and Derwent Drawing, you can add a lot of layers. Of course, you have to use quite light pressure to do that, otherwise, once you burnish the paper, that's it. Here I decided I will compare black from each set. And in this test, surprisingly, Polychromos was the lightest black. Even Artex had deeper black than Polychromos. On the other hand, Polychromos black and in general Polychromos colored pencils cover the tooth of the paper the best. I feel like the deepest black in this test was Derwent Drawing pencil. It is so rich, so dark, it looks like a black hole if you press the pencil hard enough. And as I said already, black colored pencil from Artex passed the test pretty amazingly. It is richer in color than Polychromos and it is deeper than Polychromos, but at the same time Polychromos covers more tooth of the paper. Okay, so we reached the end of this video. Stay tuned for part 2, where I'll be drawing alpaca with Derwent Drawing color pencils. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!